And we are live. Welcome to The Process. It is Thursday, November 18th. I am Josh Engelman. I am here to break down one of my personal favorite things, a 6-game NBA slate. It's going to be a good one. Before we get started, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. All of that helps me out. And make sure you're checking out Prize Picks. We'll talk about them in a second. Yesterday was not ideal. I did not have any legitimate amounts of Jimmy Butler. I did not need him to keep pace with Giannis yesterday. That wasn't the way that I wanted to go. There were just too many guys, at least on FanDuel for me, in that 9K range that made Butler a little bit harder to get to. So swinging a miss on that one. And then I did not anticipate Talen Horton-Tucker to play 39 minutes. I didn't really love his price on FanDuel. Turns out didn't matter. Dropped 49.9 real FanDuel points. So that didn't help me at all either. I had a bunch of Giannis. That was great. Had a bunch of Tatum. That was great. Levine, Westbrook, all that was fine. But the THT piece ended up hurting me quite a bit. I don't mind it, given what I saw as the ownership. I thought we had some options there. 39 minutes is going to do it. That doesn't help at all. But what was he? 49.9 divided by 39. That's 1.28 fantasy points per minute. That's a really good rate for him, for sure. And if he's going to keep shooting 40% from three over, 7, 8, 9 attempts, things are going to go well for THT. So that's a big development for the Lakers. We'll see where that ends up. What else? Tyler Hero was bad. CJ McCollum was bad. Both of those things were not fun to see. Who else laid an egg? We got a couple minutes yet. We could talk about it. Christian Wood was real bad. Wasn't great. Dinwiddie was bad. Nothing good out of Miles Turner. Not like he was a play. I mean, Hero was probably like the big one and he salvaged a little bit, got up to 19 real points, but I personally was expecting a little bit more once Bam got ruled out, and Lowry. Did not expect the Lowry piece. But it's nice to see everybody in here right now. Good morning. I'm going to try to pick up the energy a little bit, dragging on this Thursday. I was up a little later than I wanted to be. Hold'em King says, I feel you seem better this morning. I mean, I am less rested, but less tired, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what was going on Tuesday into yesterday, but just didn't. Wires were crossed a little bit in the old brain. But last night I didn't go to bed till like midnight, so I'm running on 5 hours of sleep. But I feel better today than I did yesterday, so I don't really know. Crispy, what's up? Hugo, I hope that you have a lot of success, and I hope you're here for all of these shows. That's fun, man. It's good to see. I'm really pumped to talk about this slate. I think 6 games is sort of the perfect amount where it's hard to like legitimately fade anyone. You know, you always sort of have a live bullet. There won't be a lot of guys that are pulling ownership that I'll be just fully away from. Whereas on a day like yesterday with 11 games, sometimes that happens. Did I stay up late watching Caruso crush the whole slate? I did not. Well, I mean, I stayed up late. I did not watch those games last night. I was catching up on Foundation. So I finally caught up for the most recent episode that I missed while I was on vacation. But enough about my television viewing habits at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, there goes the payment for NBA League Pass. Good to know. Izzy, good morning. Let's do this. Let's get it started. Again, hit that like button. 69 viewers. Kind of want to keep it at that number, but I've got my coffee. I am desperately waiting to take a sip of this bad boy. And yesterday was upper body day at the gym. Holding up this coffee cup right now is harder than it should be. So rise and grind, everybody. There it is. Cheers. Good morning. Grab your coffees, waters, everything, whatever you've got today. Today honestly feels like a 6 o'clock beer day. One of these days that's going to happen. We'll see what day that is. Maybe Christmas morning we do some spiked eggnog or something. But cheers to everybody. Let's put this on the right path. Let's win some money. There is very little in life better than the first sip of coffee in a given day, especially when you want it. So, Prize Picks, presenting sponsor of this show. You can see the banner at the top of the screen. If you go to Prize Picks and use the promo code Awesemo, or I believe there's a link in the description of this video, use that promo code Awesemo. Get up to a 100% instant match deposit bonus. These are going to be player prop contests. We've got free player prop tools on the website. But if you can deposit $100, if you have that money available to you, take advantage of the bonus. No reason to not turn 100 into 200 immediately. They'll match with anything. So if you've only got 50, they'll match that with 50. I think it's a really great spot to try to build a bankroll if that's what you're looking to do. The things that we talk about on these shows are relevant in this discussion, but player prop tools on the website will make it a lot easier. Tristan, let's see. How many times have you had 8 of 9 or 7 of 8 on the winning plays on FanDuel and DK, and one play failed you where a swap is a bink? I mean, infinite. So much, like, I mean, I don't even look at it at this point. It's just, that's just how it is. I've lost $100,000 making a swap at 6:59 p.m. on stream to one lineup. So that one stung quite a bit. Shout out to TJ McConnell and who's that other? Probably Brad Wanamaker. No, Aaron Holiday. So shout out to those guys. Josh, on average, how many hours do I sleep per night? The goal is usually be asleep in like somewhere in like the 10 to 10:30 range. And I get up at 5:15. So whatever the math is for that. 7? Yeah. Something in the neighborhood of 7 is what I try to do. If I can, depending on the day, I'll try to grab like a 45-minute nap in the afternoon. Kevin, good morning. On your way to get egg bites again. My man. I got them yesterday after the gym, actually. What else we got? Razzleberry Rain, JJ. I don't know what that is. I hope it's good for you. I look like Kevin Hayes in the NHL. I don't know who that is, but have you told me that before? Let me search for it. Yeah, I mean, I get that. This is pretty much how I looked during quarantine. I see that. It's got a little bit of like Frank Kaminsky vibes to him too, which I guess I could do without, but Yeah, I mean, I get it. When he's got the haircut, I see it. I'll take it. I hope he's good. That'll help. Yeah, Tristan, that one wasn't a fun day. That one wasn't fun at all. Yeah, I had very, very little Caruso, maybe none. I don't know if I still have that table open. I had 7% Caruso. One lineup with Jimmy Butler, and 9% Talen Horton Tucker. So it didn't help that a lot of my fades popped pretty aggressively. That was unfortunate. But what are you going to do? We're on to the next one. Let's dive into this slate. 6 games. Again, I love that. I don't love the schedule. We've got 4 of the 6 games as 7-point favorites or higher. That's kind of worrisome, but we're in with the first one. The Golden State Warriors on the road taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we're going to start on the Golden State side. Steph, questionable. Injured his hip setting a screen. No, or taking a charge, rather, 2 days ago. Obviously, if Steph is out, this is turmoil for this slate. Just dramatically changes everything that happens for Golden State. For right now, obviously, we're assuming that he plays. There's no real other way to handle that. After that, we need to just project out this rotation, which has become just an absolute dumpster fire. So shout out to whoever said that they don't ever run big rotations because, well, right there's 13. Obviously a little bit of a blowout, but they're running 11 every day. Jay, I had like 30 something percent of Giannis last night. Didn't matter at all. I got crushed. But that's okay. On to the next one. Feeling good. There's probably not a lot I want to change here from Golden State. This is basically going to be the same rotation that I had going into their Tuesday game. It's not like I expect any one individual to play all that much outside of Steph, Draymond, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins to a degree. So I think that we just leave this as is for right now. Rates and all are the same. And then we bump to Cleveland, where we definitely want to start reading some blurbs here. Do I have a good spot to get injury updates as they come out? Yeah, absolutely. Follow at Awesemo NBA. It's Vinci? Maybe? Vinci? I'm probably saying that wrong, but tapped in early morning with the GOAT. 50K last night. Thank you, Josh. Congratulations, man. 50K. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, so let's look at Golden State. Oh yeah, Iggy out. Well, that's an easy fix. We'll take those Iggy minutes. French Connection. I don't, but I should. By the time my day, I just don't want to do any more work at that point. If I didn't do content, I'd play all the time. Let's take Iggy out since I missed that one. I think, obviously, Kuminga is going to get 16 minutes. And then, I don't know, do they just give more to Moses Moody? Probably. That seems like the most likely scenario. Damian Lee probably needs a couple more minutes too, so I'm going to take him up to 5. Now I have 9 minutes left. They're just going straight to Moses Moody. And problem solved. Interestingly enough, don't like Golden State so far. So we'll see what they look like after I look at Cleveland, because that could be the issue too. What are we looking at? All right, yeah, Cleveland. So Q tag on Lauri Markkanen, Q tag on Jared Allen. That's something. Obviously, Cleveland on the back-to-back. What do we know about the status of both of these guys? Because we're not going to hear anything most of the day. Jerry, no, I did not. Markkanen is getting his conditioning right, not quite ready to return. Jared Allen did not travel with the team, ruled out of the Brooklyn game. So it doesn't seem like Jared Allen is playing this game. Let's look at Chris Fedor's tweets. Will not play Wednesday in Brooklyn. Allen won't be making the trip. Okay, so I guess that doesn't matter. They're back in Cleveland now. Do we have any other info? Nope. Nope. None of these tweets appear to have anything that I want to know. And that's all pregame. Well, I have no idea. So, let's think about it here. Obviously, we're going to get this information at the before lock because, you know, this is the first game of the night, 7:30 tip-off. I'm going to assume Jared Allen plays. Markkanen is the more difficult piece. I'm going to assume that Markkanen doesn't. So we've had Jared Allen out for 2 games. This is a guy that was averaging, 34 minutes a game. So I'm going to give Jared Allen his 34 minutes today. I don't really know what else I could do. Taco Fall clearly not going to see the floor. Ooh, it's time to bring the dog into the master. So give me 1 second. I apologize for that one, guys. I just realized that was in stone cold silence. Music on. At least you get a little bit drowning out in the background. Don't forget. There it is again, Cantor. Put the dog on the screen. Next time he comes up on like a 3-gamer, I'll drag his ass in here. He won't be happy about it. That much I can tell you. All right. So we're going to put Jared Allen in, and I think Kevin Love is going to play the backup run and very little else. Let's take Dean Wade's minutes out of there. Let's take Chetty's minutes out. I'm going to stick on Rubio's 34. I'm going to stick on Darius Garland's 35, even though he played 40 yesterday. So I'm going to make that 36 at least. Isaac Okoro played 39, and Dean Wade played 37.5. Also, Dean Wade worked out on FanDuel. All right, so we're going to give Isaac Okoro 34 minutes here. At least for right now. Dean Wade, I assume, is going to start again and play 34 minutes. So we've got 48 left. Chetty played 20 yesterday, came off the bench. No reason to suspect he wouldn't continue to come off the bench. Ed Davis is obviously not going to play 24 minutes again. So let's give Chetty like 22. And then the next guy would be Dylan Windler getting 12. And maybe Denzel Valentine getting like 14. 9-man rotation. I don't hate it. Jared Allen is not a big usage guy, so I don't think that I need to make any real wholesale changes here. I think we can just sort of move forward with exactly what we have here. So let's look at game one. Golden State up first, and honestly, I don't really see a lot here that I want to get to. Like, Steph is fine, but it's a big price tag. Cleveland is 27th in pace, so this is a pretty massive pace down spot for the Warriors. Steph is 11-1 and 11-8. I assume that's going to be pretty difficult to want to get to, especially with the Q tag. Even just not feeling like mildly good. If I'm going to anything here, it's probably Draymond, but I think Golden State is really, really tricky. I'm anxious to talk to Adam about this. Not on the strategy show today. I'm on Deeper Dive with him. I mean, it's Curry, Green, Wiggins, Poole. I don't see another person that I'm willing to take. On the Cleveland side, though, Darius Garland is 6K on FanDuel, 6,800 on DraftKings. I think he looks like a great play. Jared Allen is 7,500 across both sites, plus has the power forward eligibility on FanDuel. I think he's a great play on both sites if he's in. Rubio for 6,800 and 6,900 is totally fine for me. Dean Wade, price went up dramatically. Did not expect that. 4,500 on FanDuel, 4,200 on DraftKings. He's way harder to play than he was yesterday. And then Isaac Okoro, 4,300 on FanDuel. A little bit better of a value than he is on DraftKings. One down. Wizards and Heat. This is just a sea of back-to-backs. On the Wizards side, on the Wizards side, what do we know? I don't think it's anything interesting. Morning, Terry. No Dinwiddie out for rest. That is going to open some stuff up here. Probably Howell, Neto, and Aaron Holiday to a degree. Okay, so we have 31 minutes to go around. Has Dinwiddie missed any other time this year? And if so, who started? So Dinwiddie missed on the 28th. Who started on October 28th for the Wizards? Wizards. Aaron Holiday, October 28th. Aaron Holiday started, didn't close. Howell Neto closed. Fun. That makes things way better. That won't make things difficult at all. So, I'm going to say that they're both in play to play like 27 minutes. So maybe we do something like that. And then I don't know if anybody's just going to... Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just went to a 9-man rotation. Like, when Dinwiddie was out here, that is what they did. Same basic story for when Beal was out, only Anthony Gill saw like random minutes, which would be those 6. I'm not sure I need to change much here. Denny up to like 25 or 26 minutes. I certainly want to give him that time. So if I get him up to 25, maybe 26. KCP's good. Kuzma's good. Trez is good. Gafford's good. 2 minutes left over. I don't know who else it would be. So I'm just going to give them to Isaiah Todd. I don't really know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Holiday starts, but Howell Neto closes. At which point they're going to play a very similar rotation to each other. and probably alongside each other a little bit. Have they played how often do they play alongside of each other? I think that's an interesting piece. The Wizards with Neto on, Holiday on have played 62 minutes together. That works. Neto with the giant usage bump in those scenarios. But what we do need to look at now, though, is what does Washington look like when Spencer Dinwiddie isn't on the floor? And spoiler alert, I assume this is going to look pretty good for Bradley Beal. I don't want to pat myself on the back for this sort of stuff because it's totally random. It's not like I liked it or anything, but I had 13% Gafford. I was uniquely set up there. Not having the enough Jimmy Butler was really the thing that held me back last night from having live bullets. Okay, so with no Dinwiddie on the floor. Oh, Tommy, that's awesome, man. Congrats. That's really awesome. Banking the $100 single entry on DK. Like it. All right, Beal with no Dinwiddie on the floor this year, 34% usage rate. Assist rate is what goes up pretty dramatically. I'm going to bump that usage rate a little bit. Neto gets up to like 19. Nothing too crazy on Neto, which is interesting. Kuzma does see a pretty big usage bump. I'm going to make sure that he gets that. Rebounding's been great for him. Gafford's fine. Aaron Holiday in 119 minutes doesn't really do a ton. Wow, I expected the Wizards to look so much better here, and they do not. Willman DFS, Super Chat, placed third in a $25 single entry on FanDuel. Contenders updates on Twitter helped a lot. Giannis was 13% owned and was one of your faves. Yeah, I really liked Giannis yesterday on FanDuel. The 12.5 price tag on DraftKings was obviously problematic. That doesn't mean you don't want to get there, but on FanDuel, I thought he was a great play. There was clearly enough value on yesterday's slate to be able to pay up for someone like Giannis. And from a scoring perspective, it was great, but like he could have had 80 fantasy points with a slightly different peripherals day. I mean, that was there for the taking. So, Will H-Man DFS, congratulations on the third. That probably paid out pretty well for you. So, great way to start your day here. It's a good way to wake up. All right, let's finish off this Miami team. I assume Bam plays today, and clearly Kyle Lowry is playing today. I would imagine, given he was out yesterday for rest. Bam questionable, Markieff Morris questionable. The Markieff Morris piece sort of matters on a day like today. What do we know? All right, well, let's project Miami the way that we normally would. I'm going to take everything out of their rotation just because it's easier to type in when you're starting from a blank slate, especially on a team where you know most of the minutes regardless. So Bam in for 34. Kyle Lowry in for 34. Tyler Hero in for... Let's see, if everybody is back, Tyler Hero is probably going to play about 30 minutes. What else? Duncan Robinson will play 28. We'll give PJ Tucker the backup center. Nope. We'll give Dwayne Dedman the backup center run. PJ Tucker plays, I don't know, 26 minutes. Max Strus will play like 22. I think. Maybe not. Maybe that's too many. Jimmy Butler. I mean, I guess I got to give him 36, right? $35? Okay, we'll go 35. And then I'm missing one additional guy. That's going to be Caleb Martin getting 13. Getting 17. 9-man rotation. Can we expect that? Everybody's healthy here except for Strus. 9-man rotation. Everybody's healthy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're going to go 9-man rotation. I think that looks okay. Strus has played 22 minutes the last 3 games. Assume he plays on the opposite side of PJ Tucker. And I'm going to leave Markieff Morris out for right now. If Markieff Morris ends up getting ruled in, that'll just nerf a little bit of these guys. And then we just want to grab standard issue rates for right now, because everything has changed with Lowry and Bam out from yesterday. So all we need is a quick grab of what we've got going on this year, since I know things are a little bit different. Jimmy Butler, 29% usage rate so far this season. We're in 8 and 6. We need to give Tyler Hero his usage bump up to, call it 27-7. I don't want to go all the way to where he was because I do think it's going to come down. And then Bam gets the bump as well up to 27. So let's call that 26. And I believe he's rebounding better. Yeah. Bang. But assist rate is also down for Bam pretty dramatically. So I probably need to cut that to 4.5 would be... Yeah, I think 5 is fine. Kyle Lowry's usage rate then comes in the appropriate manner. Everything else here should be fine. Tristan, I don't weigh it at all. I don't think it matters. In my experience, it's 2 different questions. Does your performance change in a back-to-back? Does your playing time change in a back-to-back? Those are 2 separate answers. If you want to discount a minute or 2 on a back-to-back, I could understand that. In my research, I looked at every piece of back-to-back. Your performance actually goes up slightly in a home and home. Doesn't do anything if you go home away or away home, and goes down ever so slightly on a per possession basis if you have a road back-to-back. It's not something that I pay attention to enough. It would be the equivalent of like a half fantasy point. It's not worth my extra effort. Let's look at Washington and Miami now. On the Washington side, yeah, this is shocking to me. No Dinwiddie, but it's not really opening anything up. For some reason, Montrezl Harrell's 7,600 on FanDuel. He's basically unplayable at that salary unless Daniel Gafford happens to be out. Beal looks good, but not great. 8,700 on FanDuel at shooting guard. I'm anxious to get Adam's thoughts on Beal, too, because he hasn't seen the same sort of usage bump on days where the others, like, when Russ was out, in the same way as when Dinwiddie is out. But I think that might just have a lot to do with having Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma and like other functional players now. Uh-oh. Was losing some coffee. But Beal for 8,700, I think from a raw points perspective, he's just going to show up a bit. I just don't know how efficient he'll be otherwise. Howell Neto for 3,200 on DraftKings is going to look really good. And if he starts, then I'm going to have him in for like 30-something minutes. But for right now, I don't know how to separate Neto and Holiday. And I think that it's likely that Holiday starts and Neto closes. So I'm going to try to hedge my bets there a little bit. On the Miami side, though, Bam Adebayo, 8,300 and 8,400 on FanDuel and DK is the best play for Miami. Jimmy Butler's not too far behind, but he's significantly more expensive. 9,700 on FanDuel, 9,500 on DraftKings. And then, Kyle Lowry is okay-ish. 2 games down. Oh, 706. I've been going for 36 minutes. I didn't say anything about likes. 165 viewers, 76 likes. My apologies, everybody. Although I guess I should be apologizing to myself. I was hoping that we could get to 100 likes by 7 o'clock. I forgot to remind anybody to do that. So if you're here, hit that like button if you haven't done it already. My bad. All right. Clippers, Memphis. And this one is interesting because we know we got some guys out for the Clippers. That's going to become a bit of an issue. This should create quite a bit of value. At least I assume that it does. So if we look at the Clippers, we got a doubtful tag on Nick Batum, a Q tag on Terrence Mann, no Marcus Morris, no Kawhi, no Serge Ibaka, no Jason Preston, Keon Johnson, or Justice Winslow. Let's look at the Terrence Mann news. I don't know what's going on with him. He was questionable going into the last game too, right? And then got scratched. So same ankle injury. He went through warmups before the game, so I assume he plays today. Batum is doubtful. Achilles injury. He's not going to play today. All right. Ivica Zubac is going to be a really good play today. I am gutting this entire rotation and starting from scratch so we could really walk through it. Ken, good morning. Good to see you. Staring at the Heat Arena as we speak. Chris, enjoy it. Okay, 97 likes. We're there. Who wants to get us up over 100? Maybe at the end of this, when we're done, I might test something too. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Right before we run optimals, I'm going to try something. All right. Los Angeles Clippers. No Batum. So straight away, Reggie Jackson. You know what I want to do? I want to add... Let's add 2 columns here. Shrink that down. I guess shrink that down too. Make that bigger. And then let's just do something like that. I don't think that's going to help me, but it is going to be a decent eyeball for guys that play every day. Oh yeah, that's going to be perfect. Perfect. Okay, so Reggie Jackson, 35 minutes. Zubac, I mean, like almost by default, they just have to close, especially against Memphis, where, I mean, I guess Memphis can go slightly smaller, but, you know, they've got another big that's real as well. I'm going to say 29 minutes for Zubac. He's going to end up looking like one of the best plays. We know that we're going to give Paul George 36 minutes. That's just not going to be much of a discussion. Eric Bledsoe has been playing about 30 minutes a day. Since they have a little bit more to fill, I'm going to go to 31. So we're starting to fill it out pretty easily. We also know that we need to get Terrence Mann quite a bit of minutes. This is a guy that averages about 29 minutes a day. I'm going to go to 30 here as well. We'll start spreading that out when I get the chance. Who backs up at center today for the Clippers? That is the question. I guess it's just very easily Hartenstein again, right? 29 and 19 split between the two. They don't have to do all that much interesting nonsense. 1, 2, 3. Nope, didn't want to click on that. Stop. Oh, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. That's not how the numbers go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they have 10 bodies available, although basically all of them are guards. So Paul George is going to play every minute at the 4 today. That's just happening. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they do something else that's weird, but for right now, I think this looks fine. I really want to get this rotation correct because I think this is going to be the most important piece. It appears to me that Amir Coffee and Brandon Boston are going to be up before Jay Scrub since they played on Tuesday with Terrence Mann out. If Terrence Mann is in, which we're assuming that he is, I need to know the sizes of these guys. Clippers reference. Fun little thing you could work with here is that they have the heights in the sortable table. So Amir Coffee is the next biggest guy. Amir Coffee is going to play more than we would have thought. We have 60 minutes to give to Amir Coffee, Brandon Boston. Obviously, Luke Kennard is going to get a bundle. So we're going to give Kennard some like 29. That seems about right. And then like 15 apiece to Coffee and Boston. 16 to... No, maybe like 18 and 13. Okay, so that's going to be the totals. Now we just need to move these guys around to where they belong. Backup point guard goes to Bledsoe. That solved that problem pretty quickly. And then I guess Amir Coffee is going to be like the... Amir Coffee's bigger than Luke Kennard, right? Yeah, Luke Kennard's got the alligator arms. So we're going to do 6 and 12. I think that works as the rotation. I think this works. So that's the Clippers. Rates I probably don't have to touch. Like, Zubats is not the guy that's... Or, Nick Batum is not a guy that's going to be, like, affecting rates all that much. Like, if I can't imagine that's going to matter at all. So I'm going to leave everybody's rates in as they are. I thought Zubats would pop a little bit more than he is, but even still, there is a lot to like here for the Clippers, and I think groups might end up being really important. On to Memphis. So for Memphis, this is just going to be business as usual, right? They've got everybody in, and nothing matters. Yeah. Memphis, everybody in. If it's a competitive game, we know who's going to play. I don't really have any other changes here. It would be interesting to see if they go small in this one and try to stretch out Zubats. But I think we're just good. I don't really see anything that I want to change. I mean, maybe I want to give another minute to Desmond Bane. Yeah, do something like this. But is 30 minutes for Jaren Jackson crazy? Probably. Maybe that should be 7, and I give another one to Brandon Clark. 29 for Triple J. It just makes Memphis look impossible. So, on the Clippers side, Paul George, 10-1 on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings. I shouldn't have to tell you that he's a better play on FanDuel, but still fine on DraftKings. Reggie Jackson looks good on both sites. Zubats looks good on both sites. Terrence Mann looks solid on both sites. Not really creating as much value as I was expecting. Hartenstein for 3,800. Obvious play today if you don't have Zubats in a lineup. I think that just makes a lot of sense. So, and then I guess Brandon Boston goes by Brandon Boston Jr. in the DraftKings salary. He does. So let's make sure that name can pull through. Brandon Boston, DraftKings. There it is. Yeah, Boston's 3,300. Probably going to be difficult to go to Coffee or Boston. On the Memphis side, It's just a lot of gross. 10K Jaw on DK, sure. You know, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bain, Steven Adams, at least on DraftKings, all look really similar. But on FanDuel, I don't like. How do I pay 6,900 for Jaren Jackson on a day like today? I don't know. Maybe an ownership thing will help you. 3 games to go. San Antonio Spurs at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Boy, oh boy, did that Minnesota and Sacramento game turn into a bust for me. I thought that was going to be one of the best games on the slate. Boy, was I wrong. No news for the Spurs. They are just normal. You know? No Jakob Poeltl. Everything else is normal. On the Minnesota side, Q-tag on Okogie, and that's it. So this one should be pretty easy to handle. I got Murray in for 34 minutes. I got Keldon Johnson in for 33. I got Derek White in for 31. Maybe I make that 30. I think that's probably going to make some sense. Should have did this last. Who else we got? Lonnie Walker. Minutes are just down for the past 2. McBuckets is back up. So we're going to take him up to 28. Vassell went back down to 19. I mean, I think they're just going to jerk these guys around a lot. That I want to take down to 26. Keita Bates-Diop was out of the rotation. They went to Trey Jones instead. Let's explore that conversation. Trey Jones is a guard, right? I think I'm right. Yeah, 6'1". Top of the morning, the god Sham God. Yeah, Chandra, I don't play Butler nearly enough either. I mean, if he's going to have full outlier performances and play 6 minutes more than I expected, those types of days aren't going to help either. Drew Eubanks, 22. Thad Young, 24. I think both of those things make a bit of sense. You know, maybe I go to 23 on Eubanks. And then I am going to give those 7 minutes to Trey Jones. Which means I need that and Lonnie Walker to lose 7. So that'll be 14, 10, 12, and 16. Boom. Done on San Antonio. Feeling not comfortable. Let's look at the Minnesota side. I assume I feel a little bit better on this one. Yeah, last night was pretty wild at center because Dedmon was very clearly the best option you can get to, and he just didn't play well. It's looking like I need to give Pat Beverly an extra minute. Get him up to 30. Although on a back-to-back, who the hell knows? What else we got? I mean, Cat at 35. He's been playing more than that, so I'm actually going to take him to 36. I don't think Cat cares about a back-to-back at all. Naz Reid and Cat played... This didn't go to overtime, right? No. Naz Reid and Cat played very minimally alongside each other. And I know Naz Reid played pretty well, but I don't think it matters here. 36 minutes for Anthony Edwards. Honestly, I should probably give him 37. I just struggle to do that on a back-to-back, but he's a kid, so why not? Russell, 20. I have him at 33. I think that's fine. We've got Jaden McDaniels. Minutes are all over the place on a pretty daily basis. Something like that. Josh Okogie did not play yesterday. They just went to Torian Prince instead, so I don't really care which one of those two guys play. Jared Vanderbilt played 24 minutes over the past couple days. We're going to bump his minutes up to 23. That makes him problematic, which is not what I wanted to know. Does 23 feel wrong for Vanderbilt? Probably. Let's make it 22. And then Malik Beasley's been playing about 24. I don't have anything that I really want to change here. So 2 spillover minutes to Jordan McLaughlin. Done. Yeah, I mean, you get McDaniels 13, 31, 14, 21, 32, 30, 20. He's the very difficult. I think projecting him for 26 is about as realistic as you can. So San Antonio, Minnesota done. On the San Antonio side, again, 2-point dogs in Minnesota, 222 total. Keldon Johnson, DraftKings 6,300 is the best piece of this game. Doug McDermott, 3,800 on DraftKings is interesting. Does he have like a really low usage rate that I haven't changed? I feel like he does. McDermott, 15. Yeah, I got to bring down McDermott's usage rate. He's going to pop a little bit too much here if I don't. Let's go down to like 17. That's going to absolutely eviscerate him. It shouldn't matter if I take off Jakob Poeltl. That really lowers the McDermott quite a bit, so nothing too crazy there. Still Keldon Johnson. Murray and White, obviously. Thad Young's price and Drew Eubanks' price, probably a little too high. Eubanks is available on DraftKings at 4,600, though. For Minnesota, I love Anthony Edwards on both sites. On DraftKings in particular, he might be the best play of the day. Might be the best play of the day. Let's be clear here. I also might have him mildly overprojected. But 30% usage rate, 4 and 6 at the other spots. I mean, maybe I don't. He's playing monster minutes. Towns, I think, looks really good across both sites. I think D'Angelo Russell looks really good across both sites. Patrick Beverly is 4,200 on DraftKings. I think he looks really good there. Jared Vanderbilt is worth a look-see on DraftKings at 3,500 with dual eligibility. Going right back to Minnesota today. But for now, we're off to Philadelphia. 7.5-point underdogs in Denver. And Philly still quite shorthanded. We've got no Danny Green, no Joel Embiid, clearly no Ben Simmons, no Matisse Thybulle. So this is going to be basically the same rotation we've seen for Philly for a while now. We've got Maxey in for 38 minutes. I mean, honestly, 40 is probably the spot we want to be, but I think it'll work for right now. Andre Drummond in the 4 games without Joel Embiid that have been competitive played 33 minutes a game. I'm going to leave him in for 32. Paul Reed in for 12 seems fine. George Niang in for 24 might be a little low. We'll see if we can squeeze a couple extra minutes out of him there. Seth Curry in for 34 is fine. Shake started. I wonder if they'll start Shake again. Because if Shake starts, then I do think he's going to play like 30 minutes. Who else started in that last game? Where's Philly? All right, Philly. Now, I want the game itself. All right, we'll click on that one. So it was Shake, Maxey, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond. All right. I guess I just have to assume that that's going to happen again and they're not starting Korkmaz. So let's take Isaiah Joe's minutes. Let's take Korkmaz's minutes. I'm gonna, like, I kind of want to give George Niang more time. I feel like 26 is better. So let's do that. Now, we're going to move Shake Milton's minutes to, I guess, 30, right? 29? So maybe do 29. 34 for Curry seems fine. Korkmaz, I mean, this dude's minutes are everywhere. No Danny Green definitely makes Korkmaz seem like he's going to play 30 minutes, though. And then like a very small amount of minutes to Isaiah Joe. That makes more sense to me. Maybe we do 28 and 6. Closing lineup, Maxey, Drummond, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, question mark on Shake or Korkmaz. Because nobody closed that last one, right? Like they just got their ass kicked. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Shake, Korkmaz, Isaiah Joe, Paul Reed. Okay, so the question then becomes, who would have closed for Philly if they didn't get their ass kicked against Utah? Obviously, Maxey, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond would be 4. Would Shake Milton close over Furkan Korkmaz? Against Denver, seems like the answer would be yes, right? I think that'd be fine. Because if Korkmaz doesn't... If Korkmaz doesn't play all of this blowout run, and we cut this rotation off here, he's not playing the 31 minutes that he actually got. Or 34 minutes that he actually got. He's going to get like 28, which is what I have him in for. I like that more. I think Shake at 29, Furkan Korkmaz at 28 makes some sense since we don't know who would close. And that'll be a bigger discussion point for later. So we got Philly done. Rates are all going to be the same. I'm going to be playing a ton of Tobias Harris again. Can't wait to see how that goes. On to Denver. For Denver, I don't think we're getting any changes to this rotation either, which, honestly, I'm not mad about. The less work I got to do, the better. Although, for some strange reason, we got 215 viewers. We're over 100 likes. I've gone for an hour, and this is only game number 5. It's incredible. All right, Will Barton, doubtful. We already have that handled. No Michael Porter Jr., no Jamal Murray. Bones Highland in. No Zeke Naji. I could take those minutes away. So this should just be pretty easy for Denver. We saw Jokic play 36 minutes. If this game's competitive, I think that happens again. So we're going to go 35 and 13. Jeff Green is playing... Since Michael Porter Jr. went down, Jeff Green is playing 30 minutes a game and more in a competitive game. So I'm going to 31. JaMychal Green, on the other hand, is very firmly playing like 14 minutes a game, so that's fine. Aaron Gordon is playing 34 minutes a game since Michael Porter Jr. went down. I'm going to give him 2 more minutes, get him up to 34. I think that's going to be where he is in competitive games, maybe more. Monty Morris is playing 31 at a minimum, but if there's no Will Barton, I think it's 32. Austin Rivers played 29 with no Barton. Dozier stuck at that 22 mark, and that's fine. Bones got hurt, but it had been playing like 22, so I think all of that seems reasonable. Bol got run on Monday, but I don't think that is a long-term decision. So I just have like 8 extra minutes somewhere. Maybe it is Bol. He could have the 8. I don't really have anybody else I want to change. The only guy that I would want to change is probably giving more minutes to Monty Morris. Because I think Monty Morris can play 35 minutes in a competitive game here. With no Will Barton on the floor, I don't know why you wouldn't. Did anybody stagger? I think that's another important piece, especially when thinking about the way that minutes will happen. So against Dallas, no one staggered. They did straight normal ass rotations. Monty Morris played the entire second quarter. So they did bring him on earlier than they brought on anybody else. They didn't do that in the second half, though. So there was no staggered rotation. But they did try to get Monty Morris a little bit more run with the second unit in that second quarter. Maybe we see that again here today. All right, so let's look at Philly. Tobias Harris is 7,500 on FanDuel. Going to be one of my favorite plays. I really like Drummond at 8,200 across both sites. Tyrese Maxey for 7,100 on DraftKings looks really good. A little bit less so on FanDuel. Not too much else. Don't really get to Korkmaz and Milton because of their prices, but we'll see what starting lineups look like. I hope. Actually, we probably won't. So where I am is pretty safe. On the Denver side, Nikola Jokic is 11,600 on FanDuel, 12K on DraftKings, and a fantastic play. I just don't know if we have enough value to be there. Aaron Gordon is my second favorite play here, 5,100 and 5,300. Monty Morris and Jeff Green are both better plays on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel, as is Bones Highland for 3,400. Now, let's close this out. Toronto at Utah. We've got Toronto 9.5 point underdogs in Utah. This is a very scary late night hammer because the last time Toronto played with no Precious Achiuwa, everybody in the starting lineup played 40 minutes, and that is really scary on a 4-gamer. Q-tag on Anunoby, Q-tag on Boucher, Q-tag on Precious Achiuwa. I don't think the Boucher one matters all that much because they don't care about playing him. OG Anunoby matters, Precious Achiuwa matters. They both matter a lot. So on Anunoby, it's a hip injury. Banged his hip at practice. Precious Achiuwa has missed 2 straight. It's a shoulder injury. I think we have to assume that he's playing. Chris Boucher, bruised back. Doesn't matter all that much right now. So, Fred VanVleet's playing 39 minutes a game. Check. Gary Trent feels pretty safe at 36. I've got OG Anunoby in for 37. I think it needs to be 38. Siakam played 39. And we saw Kem Birch get 21. I'm going to go to 36 on Siakam. Scotty Barnes, 36 seems great as well. Svi played significantly less. The real question becomes, what do we do with Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher? I think Chris Boucher, if both guys are in, I think Chris Boucher is going to leave the rotation. It's not that I'm saying they shouldn't trade him. They have nothing to trade him for. No one wants him. He's 29 years old. There's no value in Chris Boucher anywhere in the league. So it's not that they shouldn't trade him. They just have no incentive to do so. If you're not going to get anything, keep him around. I don't know what they're going to do here. I think that we can potentially cut Banton's minutes and cut a bit of Svi. So maybe like 12. That gives us 11 more to split between Precious Achua, and Kem Birch. So I got 34 minutes for these guys. What if Precious Achua plays 18, Kem Birch plays 16, and then Scotty Barnes drops down 10 there. Perfect. That makes sense to me. And I don't think I need to change any rates because these are going to be the same one way or the other. So I think that works for Toronto. On the Utah side, please just tell me that there's somebody out so that Utah is more interesting. Everybody in, including Rudy Gay. That's great. All right, so all we have to do is give Rudy Gay minutes. The problem in giving Rudy Gay minutes is that I don't know where they come from, but the most likely scenario to me is that they come from Eric Paschall. So I'm going to take his 15 minutes and give them straight to Rudy Gay. And I don't think that I'm going to be making any other changes here. I got Mitchell in for 34. I think that's what he's going to play in a competitive game. I got Boyan in for 30. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Rudy Gobert in for 33. I think that's what he's playing in a competitive game. Mike Conley in for 30. That might be too high. Maybe that should be 29. So let's split that. That lets me get Jordan Clarkson to 26. I don't think that matters. Ingles at 26. So I think we're good for Utah. We're going to save that. Rates are going to be the same. We're going to look at Toronto. We've got Fred VanVleet as probably my favorite Toronto play. Pascal Siakam not too far behind. 8K on both sites, basically, for both of those guys. Anunoby and Barnes look all right. Gary Trent, probably my least favorite of the starting five, not playing anybody else. On Utah, Donovan Mitchell, 8,600 and 8,900. Rudy Gobert, 8,500 and 8K. They are my two favorites. Conley is probably third. So that is every game so far. Now I want to try something. I probably should have set this up earlier than I did. But let's see if this works the way that I want it to. Let's delete this. I think you guys will be happy about this. But we're about to find out. Does this work the way that I think it should? Okay, perfect. All right, we're going to try something, guys. I hope you're ready. I hope this works. If it doesn't, don't yell at me. We're going to try it again tomorrow. I hope I'm allowed to do this. We're going to find out. I'm dropping a link into chat. If you click it, it is a link to a Google form. All it's looking for is an email address and your YouTube screen name. Just enter both of those things and submit it. At the end of running all of these optimals, I'm going to spin the wheel. We're going to give away a week of Awesemo Plus. So, one, let me know if you can see that link. You're going to get to a form that just looks like this. You enter your email address and your YouTube screen name. Bada bing, bada boom. I get your responses. I'll grab everything else, and then we'll spin the wheel at the end. Someone that's doing this, please let me know if it worked. Done? All right, cool. Oh, I'm getting responses. All right, we're working. So we're going to do 1 week. I did not clear this with anybody. I'll cover it if this is a problem. Let's see if that works. For now, let's run optimals, and then we're going to be set up to spin the wheel. So first up is going to be FanDuel. We know that. I don't really have a great feeling about what this is going to look like either. So, optimal lineups on FanDuel, first thing. Glad it's working, everybody. This will be fun. So again, when we're done the optimals, we'll check them out. Well, bot nuts, I'll cover it myself if I have to, but I don't think that I have to. I think this is going to be a very fun engagement exercise. We'll figure out a better way to do it in the future where you have to like go to the website or something. Who's going to do the process to yeah, because I get fired. All right. Optimal lineup on FanDuel by 1/10 of a point over my number 2. Darius Garland, Neto. Keep that in mind. Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Tobias Harris, Keldon Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Hartenstein, Nikola Jokic. Botnuts, you're good, man. I don't mind that lineup at all. You can drop down from Neto to Beverly, from Keldon Johnson and Aaron Gordon to Scotty Barnes and Jared Vanderbilt. All basically the same lineup. Let's look at power rankings now. On the power rankings side, we've got, let's see, how many people did we have respond? Because we're at 228 viewers, 100 and something likes. If you've responded and put your email and your YouTube thing into the forum, but you haven't hit the like button yet, I think it would be very nice if you did. All right, we got 33 responses. That's fine. That's fun. Looks like someone might have done it twice. That's okay. I will go ahead and delete that one before we run the old spinny rooski. Power rankings. Darius Garland, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Tobias Harris, Donovan Mitchell, Terrence Mann, if he plays, Aaron Gordon, Jared Allen, if he plays, Nikola Jokic, Scotty Barnes, Reggie Jackson, Isaiah Hartenstein. On the DraftKings side now, we have optimal on DK. This one might look a little weird. Okay. That's an optimal by 1.1 fantasy points. Patrick Beverly, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Rudy Gobert, Bones Highland, Jeff Green, Nikola Jokic. I'm not entirely sure I love this. You can swap out Bones Highland for Howell Neto, and that's it. Sure. Good luck on DraftKings today, because that was not fun to look at. Alrighty. Next up, power rankings on DK. Anthony Edwards very clearly going to be at the top of this. Aaron Gordon, D'Angelo Russell, Nikola Jokic, Tyrese Maxey, Reggie Jackson, Pat Bev, Garland, Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert, Jared Vanderbilt, Donovan Mitchell, Jeff Green, Fred VanVleet, but Anthony Edwards looking like the number one guy on DraftKings for today. Alrighty, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get the wheel this side. We're gonna do 1 week. Someone will reach out to you via email. That's why you had to provide your email. So if you gave me a bogus one, you won't get what you think you're gonna get. So, paste list. Oh, this is great. This is going to work perfectly. All right. Turning off responses now. It is closed to everybody. We got 39 responses, although I think one of them is me, and one of them is a... what's the word I'm looking for? Is a dupe. But I think this is going to work out pretty well. So that's not what I wanted to do. Data, sort, headers, email address, done. Did I get more than one? I did. So only one dupe. That's fine. Sometimes you hit the button twice. And then I definitely don't need my email address in there. So let's delete that as well. So we've got... All right. 38 entries. Let's bring the wheel over here. We got 38 entries. As you can see, everybody's YouTube names are just in here. Who put in as not selected? You're getting your email address put in that spot instead. I'll blur part of it. All right, so not selected. Your email address is in there with some asterisks to make things a little bit easier. Don't want to air you out with your own personal email address. So that should be it. So we've got 30 whatever that I said into the wheel. Color theme looks fine. We'll take 15 seconds to spin, make that a little bit more fun. Beep, 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 beep type nonsense. So this is going to be for a week of Awesemo Plus. As you can see, everybody's stuff is on the screen. Who will win the free week of Awesemo Plus? This is actually fun. I'm glad I'm doing this. We're going to try to do this once a week moving forward, so long as everybody is okay with it. Here we go. I don't know why is there... I should have killed the music. And the week goes to... Trevor Poole. Trevor Poole wins it for today. Congratulations to Trevor. I will pass along your information. Someone will reach out to you with a coupon code for 1 week of Awesemo Plus. Boom. That worked better than I was expecting it to. We are going to do this from time to time in the near future. That is a reason that you guys should be hanging out here. So congrats, Trevor. It's a fun time. I really like running that wheel, so that was good. That's going to be good times. I'm really happy. I honestly thought that was going to fail. I didn't think that was going to work as well as it did, but that Google form, I think, works pretty well, because then we don't have to host it. We get all the data there. We can check for dupes. That's fine. And on this show, like, it's not like people are going to have the opportunity to put in like 27 entries really quickly. So there we go. All set. Congrats, Trevor. And I think we're done, right? That'll do it. So no strategy show for me today. I'm on Deeper Dive with Adam tonight at 5:30, I believe. Lock is at 7:30. Contenders videos will be out shortly. I've got NFL contenders as well. I have no idea who the Thursday night game is. When do Thursday games stop? Or do they not? Patriots, Falcons. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that today. But that'll do it, man. That's everything. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do so. Subscribe to the channel, notification bell. We're going to do some random giveaways again moving forward. So if that was interesting to you, you don't want to miss this show. This is the perfect place to be. Thank you guys so much. I don't have anything else. So good luck tonight. Win some money. We're closing out the work week strong tomorrow with another edition of The Process. Adios, everybody.